Girlfriend moving in but doesn't wanna come to agreement. My girlfriend of over a year is officially moving in with my maybe next week after my roommate is moving out. The house is in my name, and I told her that once he moves out, if she wants to move in officially and bring all her stuff here, she had to pay half the rent and utilities just like my roommate was. We have been in an argument all day because she doesn't want to pay any of the utilities and only the rent. She says it's the man's responsibility to do that and her friends in relationships do it that way. I'm 25, been living on my own since I was 18, and have owned the house for almost 2 years. She's 24 and still technically lives at home, but has been staying with me since COVID started without paying any bills. I told her I wanted to post on here because she really thinks she is right and I really think she is wrong. Lol. She says it's the man's responsibility to do that and her friends in relationships do it that way. Blatant sexism. Divorce lawyer here. Too many couples split up because they have very different ideas and goals about finances. My advice to have an open discussion with each about your values and expectations before she moves in. She may be a nice person, but if she has very different values re finances, you should think about whether this relationship will work in the long term. She doesn't get to play the man's responsibility card from the 50s if she isn't going to use the woman's responsibility card. If she expects you to carry the weight of the bills and finances, she needs to carry all the household chores. She doesn't get to pick and choose which sexist views she wants to implement. If you make significantly more than she does, you may need to pay the bills proportionately, but she needs to pay her fair share. My daughter just moved in with her boyfriend in September and they are splitting all the bills. If your girlfriend lived anywhere else, other than parents, she would be expected to pay her share. This is no different. So this is how she's setting the tone for the start of your relationship. What's hers is hers, and what's yours should go towards paying the bills. This is not a good start. Put your foot down now, or expect her to be ripping you off for the entire time you're together, which if this carries on, and you're smart, won't be very long. She needs to pay. The undercurrents in this relationship are already evident. This issue will bubble up in both of you in different manifestations, but they will share the same degrees of severity. And I take back part of that. It's going to be resentment on both of your behalves and the severity will be the same. But one side is misguided and the other is right. I'm of the opinion that you are right. She is really wrong. Nah man. You're right. Right down the middle with everything is the only way. My girlfriend is hopefully moving in soon and we have talked about bills and the like. We're splitting everything straight down the center. Mortgage, bills, everything. She sounds pretty entitled. It looks like you see her as a potential roommate for money purposes and she sees it as moving in with her partner. If you are moving in together, then finances and other such discussions you need to be on the same page with, or else it just breeds resentment. You seem to have started living together without any arrangement, i.e. she has been staying with you for 6 months rent-free, so I can see perhaps that she is wondering what has changed now. Can she only afford to pay rent? Are the utilities more weighted towards your needs? I.e. expensive cable. Can she afford to live with you with these costs, and did you discuss costs or just tell her? Her moving in sounds like a bad idea. Also, it seems like she is looking for someone to take care of her financially. Compatibility and lifestyle issues. She splits it 50-50 or proportionally dependent on income. No one gets a free ride. She's wrong. If she has this attitude, does she do all the housework, cleaning, cooking? Put it in her, then she see people are past roles like that now and a partnership is exactly that. Yikes. Edit. Maybe you should discuss equality and equal treatment, responsibility in a relationship. She needs to pay or she needs to hit the road. It's 2020. When I moved in with my boyfriend, we split absolutely every bill 50-50, even his car, because he would take me to work. I found it only fair that I contributed to every bill I used. Right, in what FC King world should someone just not have to pay for themselves? What is she levitating 3 feet above the rest of us, all divine and glorious? I can just imagine the EEEEEPIC fights you're gonna get into for the remainder of your relationship, if this is the kind of person she is. It would be awesome to hear some sort of reasoning behind this "I shouldn't have to pay for myself" idea. Forger about the utilities for a second. Talk to a lawyer before cohabitation with her in your house. Make sure you understand what common law situations mean where you live and what you stand to lose. What is she claiming as a woman's responsibility? Is it a fair trade? She doesn't sound responsible and mature enough to be moving in with someone. Good luck, buddy. Boyfriend and girlfriend living together is not the same as married couples. You can discuss what your future will look like if you ever get married, but you're not there yet. My wife and I earn very different salaries. We take the total cost of the house, including the bond, insurance, utilities and an amount for upgrades. We also add groceries, security, etc. We then each contribute as a ratio of our salaries. To me it's the fairest way. Don't do it. She can find someone who likes paying for everything. That kind of guy is out there. Big red flag. I've been through this and there is a fair way to do it. Y'all are not just roommates, you're a couple. For convenience sake let's say that total rent and bills is $1,000. Now you take your income and her income and compare them. If you make twice what she makes you pay twice what she pays. In this situation you would pay $666 and she would pay $333. If you both make the same you pay equal. If you make 50% more than she makes you pay 50% more than she pays. She's wrong. And sexist. And spoiled. Hopefully, you see the red flag waving in front of your face. It doesn't matter what other people do. You are not in a relationship with them. Find a different roommate to help with bills and rent. Any romantic relationship is a partnership. What exactly does your girlfriend propose to contribute that makes up for not paying rent? I'm a woman and I pay half of all of mine and my boyfriend's bills. Bro, run. Far fucking away. Right down the middle works best if you make around the same amount. Neither of you are completely right or wrong. Her reasoning doesn't make sense, but she may have a valid concern in there somewhere. Maybe she feels she contributes a lot more in other ways, such as cleaning and other household responsibilities. Or maybe, as you have full ownership of the house, she may feel like there is an imbalance of power or that you have more financial stability. That's total speculation and you two need to have a conversation to arrive at her core emotions. Ultimately, you are in a partnership. Approach the conversation with love and you'll both have to compromise. It's not about being right, it's about caring for each other. FDB. If utility bills are the man's responsibility, then cooking, cleaning and raising brats are the woman's responsibility. No pursuing a career for this future kitchen wench. It's only fair. Wow, she's acting straight up horrible. Of course she's needs to split the bills. Prepaid. You should find a different roommate that's agreeable and start reevaluating your relationship with this person. Speaking as a woman, that is an archaic notion. What she really means is, I think if I push you hard enough on this issue you'll just agree and I'll get to spend less money every month. She's trying to take advantage of you. Do not let her. If she will not verbally agree to pay her share before she moves in, do not allow her to move in. If you let her move in and think, well, we can figure it out within the first few weeks, trust me, it will go on a lot longer than that and you'll end up in a messy, angry situation. Down the middle. She sounds like a user. Unless she is offering to make up for the money elsewhere, and I mean seriously making up for it, her argument doesn't apply. A year is pretty early. I think you both should give it more time. Plenty of people wait 3 to 5 or even more years to move in. Every relationship has a unique timeline. I think timing is important, pay attention to those cues. That being said, keep the dialogue open. I hope you two can eventually come to an understanding. She needs to pay. Horse hockey. It's the man's responsibility, she's a grown woman and needs to pay her way. I am wondering one thing, are you going to sign a rental agreement? Something official, like she is not only your GF, she is also your tenant. Brother, you don't deserve this. She's totally in the wrong. If she wants to move in as an official housemate, she pays her share like any other housemate. If she wants to move in with a partner who will financially subside her, she needs to find a partner who's down with that. You guys have different values and should talk it out before she moves in. From her perspective, she's living at home and doesn't pay rent. You're the one that's asking her to move in. You have set your expectations and she's told you hers. Anyways, I don't see this working out. You could let her only pay rent and feel a type of way. She could pay everything 50-50 and feel a type of way. Well, technically if she pays half the mortgage on a house not in her name, rent is just helping you owning a house debt-free, so I can see that being unpleasant. What if she took on the bills for the equivalent of half the mortgage price plus extra proportionally to how much she makes compared to your own income? Say if the mortgage is $1,000 a month, she takes on $500 worth of bills plus some other things you can determine. That way she's paying towards utilities she uses anyway, carries her own weight and doesn't have to feel like she's just helping you own a house you can kick her out of anytime you want. I think you are both wrong in this. Yes, she should be contributing to utilities since she'll obviously be using them. But you are also framing this as she is now the new roommate, and I think you need to rethink that a bit. She needs to be contributing with rent and utilities, but living together as partners is different than a roommate situation. It might be more in the framing of the issue than the money itself. You both need to find a budget that you can live with. You need to ensure that you are not expecting her to split costs like home maintenance and such that she will not see a return on. I would suggest a cohabitation agreement at the very least. From what I hear, things can get very messy with couples who aren't married who move in together. My boyfriend and I opened a bank account together. He earns almost twice as much as I do, and each of us put 1/3 of our income on the account. 1/10 we put on a mutual savings account, and the rest of our income is to do with as we please. Personal savings, luxury items, etc. All costs are paid that way without one paying more or less than the other in terms of percent. For me it feels as the same amount as it does for him, and I personally think this is the most equal way of dealing finances if you both do what you can to earn money, not deliberately staying jobless. 1. I was expecting her to not want to pay anything. Paying utilities would be fair, while charging your girlfriend rent feels tacky to me. She does want to pay the rent, so I guess that's something. 2. Saying it's a man's responsibility to do something is stupid and sexist. Man's responsibility? Fuck her and her toxic femininity. Tell her you'll agree it's a man's responsibility to pay utilities, and a woman's responsibility to do all the cleaning. Is she serious? Does her he shoot sparks and dollar coins?